In the quiet town of Jacksonville, North Carolina, just outside the gates of Camp Lejeune, life moved at a steady pace. The sun rose early over the flat lands, casting long shadows on the military base where Marines trained day in and day out. It was a place where duty and honor were more than words. They were a way of life. Among the ranks was Sergeant Emily Carter, a woman in her mid-30s with a strong build and eyes that held the weight of years in service. Emily had joined the Marines right out of high school, driven by a deep love for her country and a need to prove herself in a world that often doubted women like her. Emily grew up in a small suburban neighborhood nearby, where her father had been a factory worker and her mother a schoolteacher. They taught her the value of hard work and standing tall, even when life pushed you down. When her father passed away from a long illness during her first deployment, Emily learned what true strength meant. She pushed through the pain, sending money home to help her mother and younger brother. Now back at Camp Lejeune after years of tour in Iraq and Afghanistan, she led a squad of young Marines with quiet confidence. Her uniform was always crisp, her orders clear, and her heart full of pride. But not everyone saw her that way. Colonel Harlan Reed, the base's commanding officer, was an old-school Marine in his 50s, with a sharp tongue and a belief that women belonged in support roles, not leading troops. He had risen through the ranks in a different era, one where toughness was measured by bravado, not quiet resolve. Reed's office overlooked the training fields, and he often watched the drills with a critical eye. Emily had caught his attention early on, not for her skills, but for what he saw as her soft approach to leadership. It started small. During morning briefings, Reed would single her out. "Sergeant Carter, you sure you can handle that rifle without breaking a nail?" he'd say with a chuckle, drawing laughs from some of the men. Emily would smile politely, her jaw tight, and respond with a firm, "Yes, sir." She knew better than to argue. Respect came from actions, not words. But inside, it stung. She had earned her stripes through sweat and sacrifice, pulling her team through ambushes overseas where fear was a constant companion. Yet here on home soil, she was reduced to a punchline. One crisp autumn morning, things escalated. The base was preparing for a routine inspection, and Emily's squad was tasked with securing the perimeter. She had them up at dawn, running drills until they moved as one unit. Reed arrived unannounced, his boots crunching on the gravel as he approached. "Carter," he barked, his voice cutting through the air like a whip. Emily saluted sharply. "Sir." He eyed her up and down, then glanced at her team. "You call this leadership? Looks like a Girl Scout troop out for cookies." The words hit like a slap. Her Marines shifted uncomfortably, but Emily held her ground. "With respect, sir, my squad has the highest readiness scores on base." Reed laughed, a harsh sound that echoed. "Scores? Paper doesn't win wars, Sergeant. Real Marines don't hide behind ranks they didn't earn the hard way." He leaned in closer, his breath hot. "You think that stripe on your arm makes you one of us? You're just filling a quota." Emily's heart pounded, but she kept her face steady. Memories flashed, nights in the desert, holding a wounded comrade, whispering encouragement as medics rushed in. She had earned every bit of her rank, but Reed's words planted doubt in the air. The other officers nearby averted their eyes, unwilling to challenge him. As he walked away, Emily turned back to her team. "Ignore it," she said softly. "We know our worth." But deep down, the injustice burned. She wondered how long she could endure this without breaking. That evening, as the sun set over the base, Emily sat in her small quarters, staring at a photo of her family. Her mother had written recently, proud of her daughter's service but worried about the toll. "Come home soon," the letter said. Emily folded it away, her resolve hardening. She wouldn't quit, not yet, but the mocking had opened old wounds, reminding her of the sacrifices she made. Missed birthdays, lonely holidays, the friends lost overseas. She whispered a prayer for strength, knowing the road ahead would test her like never before. As days turned to weeks, Reed's jabs became routine. In meetings, he'd dismiss her ideas with a wave. "Carter's got another feel-good plan," he'd say. Emily pushed harder, training her squad to perfection, but the emotional weight grew. She confided in her closest friend, Lieutenant Maria Gonzalez, over coffee in the mess hall. "It's like he sees me as less than," Emily admitted, her voice low. Maria nodded. "You're stronger than him, Em, show it." But showing it meant enduring more, and Emily wondered if justice would ever come. Little did she know, whispers were spreading. Other women on base shared similar stories about Reed. And far away in the halls of the Pentagon, a four-star general named Thomas Harlan, Reed's distant cousin but a man of true integrity, was reviewing reports from Camp Lejeune. General Harlan had heard rumors and he planned a surprise visit. The stage was set for change, but Emily had no idea. She focused on the next day, determined to prove her worth through action. The mocking had begun, but her journey was just starting. Emily Carter woke before dawn, as she always did in her modest barracks room at Camp Lejeune. The air was cool, carrying the faint scent of pine from the nearby woods. Jacksonville slept quietly outside the base, its streets lined with family homes and small shops where locals waved to passing Marines. Emily laced up her boots, her mind already on the day's training. But Reed's words from the previous weeks lingered like a shadow, making her question if her sacrifices were worth it. She thought back to her first deployment years ago in Iraq. At 22, she had been scared but determined. Her unit faced roadside bombs and endless patrols. One night during a fierce firefight, Emily dragged a fellow Marine to safety under heavy fire. His leg was shattered, but she got him out. For that, she earned her first commendation. But the cost was high, nightmares that still woke her, friends who didn't make it home. Back then, her mother had begged her to leave the service. "You've done enough," she'd said. Emily refused. "This is who I am, Mom." Now facing Reed's constant belittling, those memories fueled her fire. In the gym that morning, she pushed through pull-ups and runs, her muscles burning. Her squad noticed her intensity. Private Jenkins, a young recruit from Texas, approached her afterward. "Sarge, you okay? The colonel's been rough." Emily wiped sweat from her brow. "I'm fine, Jenkins. Focus on the mission." But inside, doubt crept in. Was she really cut out for this if even her commander saw her as weak? The day brought more challenges. Reed called a staff meeting in the command center, a stark room with maps on the walls and the hum of computers. Emily presented her squad's readiness report detailing improved marksmanship scores. Reed interrupted midway. "Carter, this is fluff. Real leadership isn't about numbers, it's about guts." He turned to the room, mostly men. "Back in my day, we didn't have women slowing us down." Laughter rippled, but Emily felt the sting. She met his gaze. "Sir, my squad's ready for anything," he smirked. "We'll see." After the meeting, Emily walked the base paths, the weight of injustice heavy. She stopped by the chapel, a small building with stained glass windows depicting eagles and flags. Inside, she sat alone, tears threatening. "Why me?" she whispered. But then she remembered Afghanistan, where she led a convoy through hostile territory, saving lives with quick thinking. Those moments defined her strength, not Reed's words. That afternoon, during field exercises, Emily's squad excelled. They navigated obstacles flawlessly, her calm commands guiding them. Reed observed from afar, his face unreadable. Later, he pulled her aside. "Not bad, Carter, but don't get cocky. Women like you crack under pressure." Emily bit back a retort, her emotional armor holding. She knew arguing would make it worse. Instead, she channeled the hurt into determination. Evenings brought solace. Emily visited her mother in their suburban home just off base, a cozy ranch house with a garden her father had planted. Mrs. Carter, now in her 60s, greeted her with a hug. "You look tired, honey." Over dinner, Emily opened up. "The colonel's making it hard, Mom. He mocks my rank like it's a joke." Her mother sighed, eyes sad. "Your father faced bullies too. Stand tall, Emily. You've sacrificed so much. Don't let him take your pride." Emily nodded, but the conversation stirred old pains. She had missed her brother's wedding during a tour, and her mother's health scares came while she was overseas. "I do this for you all," Emily said. Her mother squeezed her hand. "We know, but take care of yourself." Back on base, rumors grew. Other female Marines shared stories of Reed's bias, denied promotions, harsh assignments. Emily listened, her resolve building. She started documenting incidents quietly, not for revenge, but for justice. One night, Lieutenant Gonzalez confided, "He's crossed lines before. Word is, higher-ups are watching." Unbeknownst to Emily, General Thomas Harlan was indeed watching. From his office in Washington, D.C., he reviewed complaints from Camp Lejeune. As Reed's cousin, he knew the man's flaws, arrogance masking insecurity. Harlan had mentored Emily years ago during her early career, impressed by her grit. Now, hearing of the mockery, he planned his visit. "Time to set things right," he muttered. Emily ended the day training alone, punching a bag until her knuckles ached. The sacrifices, lost time, buried friends, hidden tears made her strong. But the journey to redemption felt long. She didn't know change was coming, but her heart held hope. As stars appeared over the base, she vowed to endure, hooking her spirit for the battles ahead. The winter chill settled over Camp Lejeune, frosting the training fields and making breaths visible in the morning air. Jacksonville's streets twinkled with holiday lights, a stark contrast to the base's disciplined routine. Sergeant Emily Carter felt the season's pull, memories of family gatherings she had missed, but duty called louder. Reed's mockery had evolved into targeted assignments, testing her limits. She faced them head-on, her emotional strength a quiet force. One frosty morning, Reed assigned her squad to a grueling night exercise in the swamps nearby. "Carter, let's see if you can handle real conditions," he said with a grin. Emily saluted. "Yes, sir." Her team grumbled privately, knowing it was punishment. As they waded through cold water under moonlight, Emily encouraged them. "We've got this. Stay focused." Hours later, soaked and exhausted, they completed the task flawlessly, but Reed dismissed it. "Luck, not skill," he muttered in debrief. The injustice deepened Emily's resolve. She trained harder, mentoring her squad with patience born from experience. Private Jenkins confided in her during a break. "Sarge, why do you put up with him?" Emily paused. "Because quitting lets him win. I've sacrificed too much to walk away." Jenkins nodded, inspired. Emily's character shone, brave, steady, always putting others first. But the emotional toll mounted. Nights brought dreams of past deployments, explosions, cries of pain. She woke sweating, Reed's words echoing. "You're just filling a quota." To cope, she volunteered at the base's veteran center, helping others with their struggles. There she met Corporal Lee, a young woman facing similar bias. "How do you stay strong?" Lee asked. Emily smiled faintly. "One day at a time, remember why you serve." Tensions peaked during a base-wide drill. Emily's squad coordinated security, her commands precise. Reed intervened, overriding her decisions publicly. "Carter's way is too cautious. Real Marines charge in." His changes caused confusion, nearly botching the exercise. Afterward, in the command tent, he berated her. "See, women complicate things." Emily's voice steady. "Sir, my plan followed protocol," he laughed. "Protocol, that's your crutch." Hurt turned to anger, but Emily channeled it. She wrote in her journal that night, detailing the incidents. "I won't break," she penned. Her mother noticed the strain during a visit. "Emily, you're carrying too much." Over tea in the warm kitchen, Emily shared more. "It's not just me, Mom. Others suffer too." Her mother hugged her. "Then fight smart. You've always been my brave girl." Word spread among the ranks. More Marines supported Emily quietly, sharing their own stories. Lieutenant Gonzalez organized informal meetings. "We need change," she said. Emily hesitated. "I don't want trouble." But deep down, she knew justice required action. Meanwhile, General Harlan prepared his visit. Reviewing files, he saw Emily's record, medals for valor, glowing reviews from past commanders. Reed's reports painted her poorly, biased, and unfair. Harlan, a man of principle, felt anger. "Family or not, this ends," he decided. He scheduled an unannounced inspection, aiming to witness the truth. Emily's journey tested her further. During a storm, her squad responded to a base emergency, flooded roads needing clearance. Reed stayed in his office, but Emily led the effort, working through the night. Her team saved equipment and prevented accidents. The next day, Reed took credit in a report. "My leadership," he claimed. Emily learned of it from a clerk, her heart sinking. The betrayal cut deep. Yet she found strength in small moments. A letter from her brother arrived. "Proud of you, sis. Hang in there." It reminded her of sacrifices, family time lost, but bonds unbroken. She visited the chapel again, praying for guidance. "Show me the way," she whispered. As the general's arrival neared, unknowing, Emily focused on an upcoming ceremony. Reed would speak, praising the base's true warriors. Emily dreaded it, but attended with head high. Little did she know the tides were turning. Her emotional growth, from doubt to unyielding resolve, prepared her for what came next. The injustice had built, but redemption loomed, keeping hope alive. Spring brought new life to Camp Lejeune, with flowers blooming along Jacksonville's suburban lanes and warmer winds sweeping the base. But for Sergeant Emily Carter, the season felt heavy with unresolved tension. Reed's mockery had worn grooves in her spirit, yet she stood taller, her bravery a beacon for others. She had documented enough to consider a formal complaint, but feared backlash. "Timing matters," Lieutenant Gonzalez advised. Daily life tested her. Reed assigned her extra duties, paperwork, late shifts, while praising male counterparts. During a tactics session, Emily suggested improvements based on her combat experience. Reed cut her off. "Carter, stick to what you know, leave strategy to the men." The room fell silent. Emily's cheeks burned, but she replied calmly. "Sir, my experience speaks for itself," he scoffed, dismissing the group. The emotional beats hit harder now. Alone in her quarters, Emily stared at her medals, symbols of sacrifice. Was it all for this? She wondered. Calls home helped. Her mother sensed the strain. "Come visit, dear. Clear your head." Emily drove to the family home, where the garden burst with color. Over pie, she confessed, "I'm close to breaking, Mom." Tears fell. Her mother held her. "You're stronger than you know. Your father would say the same." Inspired, Emily returned with renewed purpose. She mentored more, building alliances. Corporal Lee thanked her. "You've shown me how to fight back." Emily's character deepened, empathetic, resilient, but injustice peaked at a promotion board. Emily was up for advancement, her record spotless. Reed chaired it, downplaying her achievements. "Adequate but lacking edge," he said. She didn't get the nod while lesser qualified men did. Devastated, Emily confronted him privately. "Sir, with respect, this is unfair." Reed's eyes narrowed. "Unfair, life's unfair, Carter, deal with it." She left shaking but didn't crumble. Instead, she trained fiercely, her squad noticing. "Sarge is unbreakable," Jenkins said. General Harlan arrived quietly, checking into a guest quarters. He observed undetected, seeing Reed's bias firsthand. During a drill, he watched Emily lead flawlessly, Reed criticizing harshly. Harlan noted it all. As Reed's cousin, he knew the man's history, past complaints brushed aside due to connections. "No more," Harlan vowed. The breaking point came at the base ceremony honoring veterans. Flags waved in the breeze, families gathered. Reed spoke from the podium, boasting of tough leadership. He spotted Emily in the crowd. "Even our softer elements contribute," he joked, nodding her way. Laughter erupted, but Emily held steady, her eyes fierce. After in the reception hall, Reed approached her. "Lighten up, Carter, it's just talk." Her voice low. "It's disrespect, sir," he chuckled. "Earn respect first." Emily walked away, heart pounding. She confided in Gonzalez. "I can't take much more." Gonzalez hugged her. "Hold on, change is coming." Unseen, Harlan overheard similar talks. He planned to reveal himself at tomorrow's command meeting. Emily spent the night reflecting, sacrifices flashing, dusty roads, lost comrades, family afar. "I've earned my place," she affirmed. The stage was set. Emily's journey had forged her into steel, ready for justice. As dawn broke, she prepared for the meeting, unaware the twist awaited. Her strength would shine, hooking the path to redemption. The command meeting room at Camp Lejeune buzzed with tension under the fluorescent lights. Outside, Jacksonville stirred with morning traffic, unaware of the drama unfolding on base. Sergeant Emily Carter sat straight-backed, her uniform impeccable as Colonel Reed entered, coffee in hand. He scanned the officers, his gaze lingering on her with a smirk. "Let's get this over with," he said, starting the agenda. Emily presented first, outlining squad improvements. Reed interrupted. "Carter always with the details, but does it matter?" He turned to the group. "Her rank's a gift, affirmative action at work." Snickers followed. Emily's pulse raced, but she finished strongly. "Results prove otherwise, sir." As discussions continued, the door opened. In walked General Thomas Harlan, 4 stars gleaming on his shoulders. The room snapped to attention. Reed paled. "Cousin Tom, General Harlan, what brings you here?" Harlan's voice boomed. "Unannounced inspection. Sit." He eyed Reed. "I've observed enough." Turning to Emily, "Sergeant Carter, your record is exemplary. I've followed your career since mentoring you early on." Emily's eyes widened. Reed stammered. "She's adequate, but—" Harlan cut him off. "Adequate? She's a hero. Saved lives in Iraq, led under fire in Afghanistan, while you, Harlan, hide behind family ties." The room gasped. Harlan revealed files. "Complaints against you stack high, bias, favoritism. You've mocked her rank, but yours, questionable promotions, covered indiscretions." Reed protested. "That's not—" Harlan's gaze silenced him. "I know because I'm family, but duty first. You're relieved pending investigation." Guards escorted Reed out, his face ashen. Turning to Emily, Harlan saluted. "You've earned respect through sacrifice, promotion approved." Applause erupted. Emily, emotional, saluted back. "Thank you, sir." Later in his office, Harlan shared. "Your strength inspired this. Justice prevails." Emily nodded, tears of relief.